It's official, Ben Simmons is going to leave the Philadelphia 76ers this offseason. He's looking to be moved, and honestly, as a Heat fan, and all of us here as Heat fans at BanterBroadcast, I could just say,
we don't care.
What's up guys, my name is Brandon, welcome back to BanterBroadcast. Hope you guys are doing well. In this video, we're going to be breaking down the recent reports indicating that Ben Simmons wants to officially leave the Philadelphia 76ers. He is not going to show up to training camp, he's not going to report to the Philadelphia 76ers, and is going to look to force a move to another team. However, the main issue is that the 76ers are asking for a ridiculous asking price and leaving many teams bewildered as to why they're asking so much, and ultimately walking away from a deal potentially happening as they don't want to meet the 76ers asking price, especially since they know that Ben Simmons cannot play in the fourth quarter like we saw in the Eastern Conference semifinals and infamously passed up on a dunk because he thought he was going to get fouled. So I'm going to break down all the reports about where he could possibly go and what trades do I think most likely will happen and what the trades would look like in this video. So the first reports indicated that he wants to leave the Philadelphia 76ers and he does not plan on coming to training camp. He told Daryl Morey, Elton Brand, and Coach Doc Rivers is his decision and that he wants to move on. Now, I could respect his decision and understand why, but to not turn up to training camp, I think it's just going to lower his value and make the deal much harder to get done, especially since his value right now is still at an all-time low. So the fact that he's not going to show up to training camp and kind of pull a Scottie Pippen here, where we saw in The Last Dance, where he doesn't want to play for the Chicago Bulls and refused to play, I think is a little bit ridiculous at this point. And given the fact that the 76ers are still asking for a ridiculous asking price as well, I just think he just needs to show up to training camp, just participate. If he doesn't get dealt right now, he'll definitely get dealt midway through the season or even by the trade deadline. And by then, most likely his stock will go up, meaning that the Philadelphia 76ers will get their asking price and Ben will move on. It's a win-win, but just show up to training camp. So it looks like Ben wants to move to California as he's eyeing 3 California teams. The 4 California teams, though, are the Lakers, Clippers, Warriors, and Kings. However, I'm just going to take out the Lakers here as I don't think they have the assets or the cap to trade for Ben Simmons, especially after trading for Russell Westbrook, and I just don't think scheme-wise it's going to be a great fit. With that in mind, I'm going to replace them with the Minnesota Timberwolves in this video because by all reports, they have been the most active in trade talks for Ben Simmons. So let's first start with the Sacramento Kings as the 76ers will trade Ben Simmons for Marvin Bagley and Buddy Hield. Now, Buddy Hield has been subject to a lot of trade talks in recent time as he was about to get dealt with the Lakers before they shifted gears and actually traded for Russell Westbrook instead of Buddy Hield. Marvin Bagley is in the same boat as well. They wanted to get rid of Marvin Bagley this past season but couldn't, and now he's on the team still. I think these are 2 assets that Sacramento wants to let go, and it gives Ben Simmons a fresh start in Sacramento as well. For the 76ers, they get an elite shooter in Buddy Hield, and they get a prospect in Marvin Bagley when, if healthy, I think he can definitely develop under Joel Embiid and definitely get his offense going. And I think what a better prospect for a big man to learn his craft from than Joel Embiid. Plus, this gives Philadelphia much needed floor spacing as that was something they still needed, and that's why they kind of benched Ben Simmons late in the fourth quarter as well, because of floor spacing and because he couldn't hit free throws. Now you get Buddy Hield, who's an excellent shooter from the field, and Marvin Bagley, who offensively is very good but can't stay healthy. So if Philadelphia can get him on the right track physically, I think both these prospects could really turn out and improve the Philadelphia 76ers. So this next trade I'm not too much of a fan of, but it's the only way I could really make it work. Ben Simmons for Andrew Wiggins straight up between the 76ers and the Golden State Warriors. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would the Warriors do this, especially when they just drafted Kuminga and still have Draymond Green? Well, I don't know, to be honest with you, but this is the only way this would work, to be honest with you, and keep Draymond Green on the team. I think for Philadelphia, they get Andrew Wiggins, so he provides the 3-and-D that they're looking for, and again, floor spacing as well. He's not going to give you the playmaking like Ben Simmons, but he is still going to give you some additional shooting and some defense. Now, if they did trade for Draymond Green, the trade would look like this. So if a trade for Draymond happened, it would look like this. Draymond Green and James Wiseman for Ben Simmons. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would the 76ers take this trade? Well, Draymond gives you floor spacing that Ben Simmons cannot, and James Wiseman does provide that young piece that they're looking for in trade talks. And just in case Joel Embiid goes in a couple years, because his contract is up in about 2 or 3 years, you have a young center that offensively could match Joel Embiid and kind of already overtake Joel Embiid defensively right now as well. So with this trade, it gives Ben Simmons shooters on the floor pretty much at every position, and it gives the Warriors another playmaker and another guy that can play some really good defense as well. So if you're looking at their lineup, it would be Curry, Clay, Wiggins, Simmons, and then whoever at the 5, whoever would be placed at the 5. And realistically, you could play Ben Simmons in the paint as a 6'11 dude and go ultra small and do the small ball lineup that they usually do during that championship run that they had. And honestly, defensively, they look really solid, and offensively as well, they still have the Splash Bros and they still have kind of a deep bench offensively as well. In this next trade, the 76ers will send Ben Simmons to the LA Clippers for Luke Kennard and Marcus Morris Sr. For the Clippers, they get another defender in an already stacked defensive team. They already have Ibaka, Zubac, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Eric Bledsoe as their main defensive guys. That is an incredible defensive lineup on its own, and now you add Ben Simmons. That is just shut down right there. That's shut down defense. Ben Simmons will also add, I think, honestly, much needed playmaking on this team. I don't think Eric Bledsoe is the best playmaker in the world, so Ben Simmons will give that additional boost there. And honestly, this team could finally contend in the Western Conference, and even with Kawhi out for most of the year, if not the whole year, this could really be the Clippers' time to push for an NBA Finals run. For the 76ers, they once again get much needed floor spacing with Marcus Morris Sr. and Luke Kennard. And with Marcus Morris Sr., they get a valuable 3-and-D guy, which alongside Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, and Seth Curry, I think honestly, while it's not the most glamorous Big 3 or Big 4, I think definitely could make a push in the East this season. In the last trade of the video, the Minnesota Timberwolves will be sending Malik Beasley and Taurean Prince for Ben Simmons. So the reason why it's not just a straight up trade for D'Angelo Russell, it's that the Minnesota Timberwolves most likely do not want to give up that core of D'Lo, Karl-Anthony Towns, or Anthony Edwards. With that being said, what the Philadelphia 76ers get with these two guys is two guys that shot about 40% from 3. Malik Beasley also almost averaged 20 points per game in only 37 games last season, and Taurean Prince can teach us how to grab rebounds once again in Philadelphia.
Go up and grab the ball off the rim when it comes off, and then you grab it with 2 hands, and you come down with it, and that's considered a rebound.
The Minnesota Timberwolves will get their best defender probably since Jimmy Butler, but probably won't also push them in practice like Jimmy Butler or yell at them while wearing a Rolex, while beating them with the 3rd string as well, like Jimmy Butler did. Ben Simmons also gives them playmaking and gets the ball out of D'Angelo Russell's hands. To the core of D'Angelo Russell, Ben Simmons, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Anthony Edwards could really make a push in the Western Conference in my opinion, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they do so this season. So that is it for me. Ben Simmons could be on the move. I gave you guys 4 possibilities and 4 trades as to where he can go. Let me know in the comment section if you like those trades. What are your trade proposals that he could go to? Let me know once again in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take it easy, have a good one, and peace.